Today, we live in an era filled with incredible access to information and technology. Yet behind all these advantages, there are many subtle traps that often go unnoticed, especially by the younger generation, Gen Z. The ancient philosophy of Stoicism teaches us to recognize these mistakes so we don't get caught in a chaotic, unfulfilling life. One of the biggest mistakes made today is letting emotions control our lives. Stoicism teaches that we cannot control what happens outside of us. The only thing we can truly control is our response. But in the age of social media, Gen Z often falls into the trap of emotional reactions. Getting angry over random comments, feeling insecure by comparing their lives to others' posts, or becoming anxious from the pressure to always appear successful. Without realizing it, they hand over their emotional stability to external forces, forgetting that true peace must come from within. Another major mistake is seeking external validation. Many young people today measure their self-worth by likes, followers, or positive comments. Stoicism reminds us that true self-worth doesn't depend on the approval of others. As Seneca said, "Your happiness depends on yourself." If we live just to meet other people's expectations, we'll always feel lacking, never truly satisfied, and eventually lose our true selves. Moreover, Gen Z tends to avoid discomfort. Anything hard, boring, or challenging is often seen as something to escape. But Stoicism teaches that resilience is built through facing hardships. As Epictetus said, "Don't wish things were easier. Wish you were stronger." Without challenges, there is no real growth. Avoiding difficulty only leads to weakness, fragility, and a lack of mental strength. Another common mistake is poor time management. Many spend countless hours mindlessly scrolling, binge-watching shows, or wasting time on empty entertainment. In Stoicism, time is viewed as the most precious resource, even more valuable than money. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. Lost time can never be regained." Wasting time is ultimately wasting life itself. Stoicism teaches us to live consciously, responsibly, and intentionally. Recognizing these mistakes is not about blaming ourselves, but about awakening our awareness. Because once we are aware, we can change. Gen Z holds incredible potential to change the world, but real change must begin from within. Another critical mistake often seen in Gen Z is the habit of overthinking and excessive worry about the future. Stoicism teaches that the future is outside our control. What matters is the present moment, how we act, think, and live today. When we spend too much time worrying about things that haven't even happened yet, we waste our energy and lose the beauty of the present. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." Overconsumption is also a major issue. In today's world, where everything is instantly available, food, entertainment, shopping, many people have lost the ability to practice moderation. Stoicism values self-discipline and simplicity. True happiness, according to Stoics, comes not from having more but from needing less. When we constantly seek pleasure, we become slaves to our desires. True freedom is achieved when we can say no to what does not serve our higher self. Another behavior that Stoicism warns us about is the tendency to blame others for our situation. It's easy to point fingers, blaming parents, society, the government, or luck. But Stoicism teaches radical responsibility. While we can't control external events, we can always control our attitude and response. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Accepting responsibility for our lives, no matter how hard, is the first step towards real freedom and growth. Another mistake that hinders Gen Z is the constant need for immediate results. In a world of instant gratification, patience becomes rare. But real success, whether in building character, achieving goals, or creating impact, takes time. Stoicism teaches the importance of perseverance and long-term thinking. As the Roman philosopher Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Growth is a slow and steady process. Those who understand and embrace this truth will stand stronger than others when challenges come. Stoicism doesn't offer a life free from pain, struggle, or obstacles. Instead, it gives us a mindset that turns every hardship into an opportunity for growth. For Gen Z, mastering these principles could be the foundation for a life that is not only successful but deeply meaningful. Another common pitfall for Gen Z is the obsession with validation, constantly seeking approval through likes, followers, and comments. Stoicism reminds us that true value is internal, not external. The applause of others is fleeting and unreliable. What matters most is how we judge ourselves according to our own standards of virtue. Marcus Aurelius said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people but care more about their opinions than our own." Living for the approval of others is a trap that leads to insecurity and anxiety. Another dangerous mindset is the fear of failure. Many Gen Z individuals hesitate to take action because they are afraid of making mistakes or being judged. Yet in Stoic philosophy, failure is not a disaster, it is a teacher. Every failure is an opportunity to strengthen character, improve wisdom, and become more resilient. The Stoics believe that we should not fear failure, but rather embrace it as part of the journey toward excellence. There is also a rising trend of entitlement, the belief that life should be easy or that success should come without great effort. Stoicism stands in direct opposition to this idea. It teaches that life is hard, and it is precisely through struggle that we find purpose and strength. We are not owed anything by the world. Instead, we must work tirelessly to build ourselves into individuals of integrity, courage, and wisdom. Stoicism emphasizes the power of inner fortitude. While the outside world is full of chaos, injustice, and unpredictability, the Stoic warrior stands firm, focused only on what they can control, their own thoughts, actions, and values. This perspective frees us from endless frustration and disappointment. When we accept that the world owes us nothing and that happiness lies within our own hands, we unlock a deep sense of peace and self-empowerment. Ultimately, embracing Stoic principles means choosing to live a life of purpose over pleasure, character over comfort, and action over fear. For Gen Z, mastering these timeless lessons could be the key to navigating a chaotic world with strength, wisdom, and grace. Another critical mistake made by Gen Z is the overemphasis on external validation. In a world dominated by likes, followers, and viral moments, many have fallen into the trap of seeking worth from outside sources. Stoicism teaches us that true value comes from within, from our character and actions, not from the applause or criticisms of others. Epictetus famously said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This highlights the idea that external approval is fleeting, but personal growth is everlasting. This need for validation often leads to unhealthy comparison. When we constantly measure our lives against curated images and highlight reels, we foster feelings of inadequacy and resentment. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Instead of comparing ourselves to others, we should cultivate gratitude and focus on our own progress, no matter how small. True Stoic strength lies in appreciating the journey, not racing to match someone else's timeline. Another common folly is the avoidance of discomfort. Gen Z, like many, can fall into the temptation of comfort zones, prioritizing immediate pleasure over long-term fulfillment. Yet Stoicism teaches that enduring discomfort is essential for growth. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Facing challenges head-on rather than retreating builds resilience and wisdom." We must learn to lean into discomfort, understanding that each hardship we endure sharpens our character. Furthermore, there's a rising trend of letting emotions govern decisions without reflection. While emotions are natural, Stoicism advises mastering them, not suppressing them. Emotional discipline allows us to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. As Marcus Aurelius puts it, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Gen Z must recognize that mastery over their emotions is key to creating a stable, fulfilling life. Lastly, a grave mistake is neglecting the present moment. Many are either trapped in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. Stoicism urges us to live fully in the now. The present is the only time we truly possess. Epictetus wisely stated, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." Surrounding ourselves with positive influences and focusing our energy on the present moment can transform our lives profoundly. In summary, if Gen Z wants to build a life of true fulfillment and strength, embracing Stoic wisdom is essential. Seek validation from within, avoid comparison, embrace discomfort, master emotions, and live fully in the present. These timeless lessons hold the power to shield us from modern chaos and lead us toward a life of purpose, resilience, and genuine happiness.